Hi everyone, welcome back. It's the 8th of May 2018 and the time is 12:53. Just started trading unusually early. We've seen some good moves across the board throughout the early London session, and so just coming to the charts now. It's the first chance I've had to have a look at the charts, and I've taken two trades, like I say, relatively early. There were some more setups, but I thought because it's this early I'd just have a go at a couple. So I'll just quickly run through those and show you where I've taken these trades. You can see the EU there, that hit our criteria and an entry point at 71. So I've taken this short looking for further downside movement on the Euro US dollar. And the only other trade that I've taken at the moment is the pound Japanese yen. Taken this one short too, got in this at 27 as it came through our entry point, and I'm looking for further downside movement on the pound Japanese yen. Okay, I'll pause for now and I'll come back if I take any more trades or if we see any significant moves in the pairs that I'm already in. Back again for an update. We're seeing these moves continue at the moment. Doesn't mean to say they're going to continue or that there's any guarantees that these trades are going to work out. That's not what we do when we take a trade. It could go either way. But at the moment, the Euro US dollar that I'm in is moving down nicely. I've got this short looking for further downside movement. I've also taken the Euro Japanese yen, came through one of our entry points, and I've taken this short looking for further downside movement. I took this at 44. So Euro Japanese yen just starting to move into profit now, looking for that to move down further. I'll just run through these other pairs, even though I'm not in them. Pound US dollar, we can see that's moving down, continuing to move down. Pound Japanese yen is the third trade that I'm in. Took this short at 27 and I'm looking for further downside movement. I've put my take profit in down here. You can see where my take profit is. But if that pound continues to move down or the Japanese yen continues the strength that we're seeing at the moment, I might be tempted to push this trade even further. So stick with the video and you'll see how this one turns out, whether I can actually push these trades or not. If we see some good strong moves like the London session saw, there's every chance that we might see some big moves this afternoon. Other pairs, like I say, I'm not in anything else. That's the US dollar strength and the Australian dollar weakness that we're seeing. US dollar strength just starting to move there. And yeah, it seems to be some nice moves right the way across the board. So I'll pause again and I'll be back soon with an update. Back for another update as time's moving on and we're getting closer to the New York Open. I've decided to take a few more trades, and so I'll quickly run through them. Still in the Euro US dollar, no change there. Euro Japanese yen still in that one there. Pound US dollar, I've taken this one short looking for further downside movement. Pound Japanese yen still in this one. Australian dollar, US dollar, looking for further strength in that US dollar. So just going to see if that continues to move down. Like I say, any of these trades that I've taken, there's no guarantees that they're going to take. It's just a game of probabilities and just hitting the trades as they hit our criteria and our entry points. Australian dollar, Japanese yen, taking this short, looking for further downside movement. No trade on the US dollar, Japanese yen, or on the US dollar, Canadian dollar. Canadian dollar, Japanese yen, no trade on that, and no trade on the New Zealand dollar, US dollar. So I'm in 6 trades at the moment, which is usually my upper limit. I very, very rarely take more than 6 trades, have 6 trades open at any one time, unless there's some serious moves going on. But at the moment, it's still early. I'm still waiting for the New York Open. And we're seeing a bit of sideways movement at the moment, so just holding back now and holding on to those 6 trades, seeing how they turn out. Okay, I'll pause again and I'll be back soon. Back again for an update. There's been even more movement. A couple of stops I've had, got back in on those trades, but I'll run through them anyway so you can see exactly what I'm doing. Euro US dollar, we can see that's further downside movement, nicely in profit. And you can see it's actually testing the 50 level there, looking for that to push through that 50 and hopefully come down to 20, but we'll see. So Euro US dollar showing reasonable profit. That's that US dollar strength still showing. EJ being held there, Still in that. Very, very small amount of profit showing on that, but not a great deal. Pound US dollar, took this one, US dollar strength again, and maybe a bit of that pound weakness showing up again on this one. So that's coming down. It's come through that 0.0 level, looking for that to come down through 80, possibly down to 50. So we'll just have to see how that one runs. Oh, by the way, EJ, let me just go back to that. My initial trade on that, I took at 44. I was stopped out on that, took a full stop. So that's 10 pips I lost on the Euro Japanese yen. But I took a re-entry as it come through one of our entry levels, hit our criteria, and I got back in that looking for further downside movement. So pound US dollar, like I say, in that, seeing that starting to come into profit now. Pound Japanese yen. Seeing that pound weakness and possible Japanese strength, hopefully. So that's moving down into profit now. This was another one. My initial trade, I took at 27. I was stopped out on that, losing 12 pips. So at the moment, I'm down 22 pips. But I took a re-entry as this come back through our re-entry level. So pound Japanese yen, looking for further downside movement. Australian dollar, US dollar, can see that's moving down nicely. Way through that 50 level now, looking for that to come down to 20. Australian dollar, Japanese yen, still hovering around. That's being held at the moment, so it's hovering around my entry level on that. US dollar, Canadian dollar, took this at 62 as it hit our criteria level, and looking for that to move up, further upside movement, looking for that to come back through that 80 level, possibly up to 0.0, but I'll keep a check on that. It's all about that US dollar strength that continues. And that's it. They're the trades that I've taken at the moment. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 trades open at the moment. One more than I usually take, but we're seeing some reasonable moves on this US dollar. So I'm quite happy to sit with the extra trade. Okay, I'll pause again and I'll be back if there's any significant changes. Hi again, back with an update. Seeing some reasonable price action still. Going sideways a little bit on a couple of the pairs at the moment, but still seeing some reasonable moves across the board. Okay, I'll flick through these and show you the trades that I'm still in. So, Euro, US dollar, still in that original trade that I took. I've actually locked in 20 pips there, just above the 50 level. And we can see that price is turning around and coming back down again. You can see that this candle here almost hit my price stop. Would have given me 20 pips, but I'm still in that at the moment. Price is continuing to move down. So that's the EU. Looking for further downside movement. Euro Japanese yen, I've actually locked in break even on this. So what we do there is we lock in just a very slight amount just to cover our costs, commission and the spread. So Euro Japanese yen, still in that, still in profit, and I've got break even locked on that. That was the second trade I took on the re-entry of that one. Pound US dollar. This one here, I'd moved my price stop down to break even and that had hit, and so I've taken a re-entry at this at 0.0. So price actually came back up, hit my price stop at break even, and I managed to get back in this. That's showing a little bit of profit there on the pound US dollar. Pound Japanese yen, still in this trade. This is the second trade I took the re-entry, and that's coming back into profit right now. Australian dollar, US dollar. You can see that original trade that I took there, that's coming down, moving into profit quite nicely. Australian dollar, Japanese yen. Again, this was the initial trade that I took, earlier trade, and that's moving down towards that 20. If that breaks that 20, I'm looking for that to move further down to 0.0. We don't know that, it could just go sideways, so I'll keep an eye on that. And what else am I in? US dollar, Canadian dollar. One I took earlier on, this is the original trade I took here, just showing a little bit of profit on that, and that's all I'm holding at the moment. So I'm holding 7 trades, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 trades, all showing profit at the moment, and just watching what this price action's doing, deciding whether to stay in these or whether to get out and call it a day. There's a reasonable amount of profit showing at the moment. Like I say, I've had 1 break even, that was on the pound US dollar, and I've had 2 losses, the pound Japanese yen minus 12 pips and the euro Japanese yen minus 10. So I'm down 22 pips at the moment. Trades I've got in profit right now, if I punched out, I'd be showing a reasonable profit. So just going to see what happens, see if that US dollar continues to show that strength, see if that starts to make a move up again. If not, I might well get out of these trades, but just going to watch and monitor this for a little while longer. Okay, I'll pause again and I'll be back soon. Another update, there's been some significant changes across the trades that I was holding. Well, a few changes across the trades I was holding. Euro US dollar, that pulled back and hit my price stop, giving me 20 pips on the Euro US dollar, and then wouldn't you know it, look at that, it's just spun around and started coming back down again. So so it can be frustrating at times when you see that happen. Like I say, I locked in 20 pips, it just pulled back, went just above, hit that level, and now it's powering back down again. But still, that's the name of the game, and you just have to accept these things. Euro, Japanese yen, still in that trade, the initial trade that I was in. Oh no, that was the re-entry, and that's pulling down nicely, showing some good profit. Pound US dollar, same thing there. I'd locked in break even on that, price pulled back, hit my break even, and started to move back down again. So again, it's just one of those things, the way that price pulls back and suddenly takes off again, and it's just something that you have to accept as a trader. Pound Japanese yen, still in this one, you can see that's pulled down quite a long way, then started that pullback here. It's just hovering there, still in profit, so still in that trade. Australian dollar, US dollar, still seeing that US dollar move down. I've got 10 pips locked in on that, so that's nice and safe. Australian dollar, Japanese yen, showing a little bit of profit there. It's the Japanese yen that's holding that one back up. US dollar CAD, showing a little bit of profit on that one too. I've got that one on an earlier entry. The original entry I took on that, that's still on. So that's what I'm holding at the moment. Showing some profit and hanging in there for the time being, just seeing what this price action is going to do, and possibly making a decision fairly soon. I know I said this when I came back last time, but possibly going to be making a decision as to whether to get out of these trades, take my profit for today and walk away, or whether to see if that US dollar takes off again and start showing some signs of strength. So just holding on for the time being, and I'll be back very, very soon. I'm going to pause again and I'll be back very soon. Okay, decided after all to pull those trades that I had running, showing reasonable profit today. And who knows, the market might take off and that US dollar might continue to get strength, and I'll be leaving money on the table. But again, that's absolutely fine. You have to be okay with these kind of things if they happen. It's all part of trading. So let's run through these and I'll show you exactly what I ended up with. So you can see the Euro US dollar, this initial trade, I took one trade on this, getting in at 71. Price came down and I punched out of that. Oh no, I didn't, sorry, no, I locked in 20 pips on that. So I actually locked in 20 pips. Price came back, hit my price stop, and so I came out of that with plus 20 pips on the Euro US dollar. Euro Japanese yen, first trade on this I took, price came back and stopped me out here. Losing 10 pips on that, so I was down 10 pips on the Euro Japanese yen. Took a second trade as it hit our entry level here, and price came down and I punched out of that, taking 16 pips. So the EJ, I ended up with six pips on that, 6 pips profit. Pound US dollar, twice this came back and hit my protective stop. So first trade I took here at, what was that taken at? That was 0.5, hit the entry criteria, price came down, pulled back. By that time I'd locked in break even, which was 2 pips, and my price stop was hit, giving me 2 pips on the initial trade. Took a re-entry on that almost straight away, and again price moved down, I locked in break even, and price came back again and hit my price stop for plus 2 pips. So I ended up with 4 pips on the pound US dollar. Pound Japanese yen, initial trade I took on this was one of the early trades, and that came back, took it here, and you can see that price came back and hit my price stop. That was minus 12. So the second trade I took a re-entry on that as price came back through an entry level, and price moved down. I punched out of that, taking 12 pips. So I ended up down 2 pips on the pound Japanese yen. Australian dollar, US dollar. This was a one-off trade. Took this here at 57 as it hit our entry criteria. Price came down quite nicely on that, and I ended up taking 20 pips on the Australian dollar, US dollar. It's a 2-to-1 risk to reward. You can see my stop loss here was 10 pips, and I ended up with 20 on that. So that's a 2-to-1 risk to reward. Australian dollar, Japanese yen, one trade on this, entered here. Price just went sideways on this. This one was being held by the Japanese yen. Japanese yen was showing a little bit of weakness there. And so I ended up with just 6 pips on that, punching out of that one. And US dollar CAD, took this as price hit the entry level there, up here. That was at 62. And price moved up. I ended up punching out of that for plus 10 pips. So all in all, not a bad day. I'd lost 22 pips. I made 86 pips, ending up with 64 pips profit, giving me plus 2.68% on my capital, which is nice in one afternoon's trading. So if you're enjoying these videos, or if you're taking anything from them, if you look down the bottom of this video, you'll see in the description down the bottom there, I've put some links to my website where you can learn more about what we do at the Price Action Traders Institute. If you fancy getting involved in the way that we trade, there's more information there. Also, whenever I trade, you can catch me out on Twitter, which is at UK to Asia. And the other thing is please subscribe to this. If you subscribe, you'll get a heads up every time that I release a new video, and hopefully you can gain something from it. It's all about showing you what we do at the Price Action Traders Institute, and myself and Kim are completely transparent and completely open with what we do, showing our entries, exits, and as we take them on Twitter. And I know for a fact that there's not many coaches or mentors out there that do that. So you can actually watch what we're doing live on Twitter, whether you're a member or not. And then, like I say, if you want to get involved, you can find all the details on the website. So yeah, please subscribe. That way you'll get the heads up every time I release a new video. Okay, thanks very much for watching, and I'll catch you again soon.